And so they told me, say Miss Fields not feeling good, so I'm gonna dial 911. We're gonna take on the stretcher to Bayview. So I said, okay, I'm on my way to work. But if they admit her or keep her, please call me. Let me know, because I'm on my way to work. But I didn't. No one never called me and let me know until that night. I was in the house. I get frustrated when I don't hear from her. And I was telling my husband, I say, something ain't right, because I start feeling all funny. I get a funny feeling when something wrong with my mom. And I said, something is not right. And I start calling, I called Bayview, the emergency room. And they put me on hold for maybe about 20 minutes. And then I hung the phone up and I called back again. So the lady told me, yes, Miss Field is here. And I said, well, can you tell me anything on the phone? She said, no. Only thing I can say, Miss Fields is sick. And that's when I went up to the emergency room. When I got there, I think security guard was there, and I asked them, could I go back there and see Miss Field? So he told me to wait a minute. So me and my husband went back there and see my mom. She was laying on the stretcher, all gray, and I think she had a breathing thing into her nose. And so at that time, I talked with the nurse, and she told me, she said, Miss Henderson, your mother is very sick. And I said, what you mean by she's very sick? She said, she has a toxin in her bloodstream. And I said, well, where did that come from? She said, with the draining tube. She said, I don't know if they've been cleaning the draining tube or what happened, but it got into her bloodstream. And so I do I need to call my family member to let them know? And I think at that time, I really talked with the resident there. And he said, well, I can't tell you your mother will make it through the night because she's very sick, very sick. And so I said, well, maybe I better go call the family member. And that's when I went outside and called my family, because I was hysterical. I was so upset. And, when you're upset, you're not thinking right. And I wasn't thinking right when I went and I left my husband there. He said he was talking with her, but she really wasn't talking. She making a whole lot of noise. And so at that time, I came back into there, and that's when the doctor approached me and say, Miss Henderson, I need your permission to put her on the what's called a ventilator, breathing machine. So I said, okay. But when he said that, I don't know if she heard him he said it, but she got really agitated. And I said, Mom, what's wrong? What's wrong? She was doing like this. But still, at the time, I wasn't thinking that maybe she was trying to tell me that she didn't want to be on there. And so when he asked me for my permission, I said, okay, but I need your permission. It seemed like I didn't have time to think. Seeing her up there, can't hardly breathe and turning gray, I just said, okay. So I said, well, maybe if they put her on, tonight, maybe she'll come off the next day. And that's the way I was thinking.
I'm glad my sister made a decision to put her on, because my family everybody got a chance to see her alive, all the siblings. And if she didn't put her on at that time, she had to make a quick decision right then and there, because they had to put her on a ventilator. And if she didn't, I believe that she would not have made it out of the ER. She would have died, and nobody would have been able to say goodbye to her. So I'm glad she made that decision to put her on a ventilator.
Okay, when she went to the intensive care, they didn't let us see her at first. But when I went back there, when I did get a chance to see her, she wasn't in any pain, because I think they had heavily sedated her. But in my mind, I was thinking, I didn't want to express it to no one else. I was feeling that, I made a decision to put her on the respirator. A whole lot of time when I went in the room, she opened her eyes, looked at me, seemed like she would say, Emma, you know what I wanted. You know what I wanted. Why is you doing this to me? Just let me go. I'm ready. It seemed like that's what came in my mind for her, It was just terrible. Terrible. It was kind of confusing with, a whole lot of physicians telling you this, telling you that, To me, it was confusing. Because you got one person on this night, next person on this night telling you this and that. It just confusing.
People that was telling me said, well, your mom she wanted to be a DNR and DNI. This is what your mom want. This is what your mom would have want. I don't want to hear that. Other family member put me with another family member. They don't want to hear that. You don't know my mom like I know my mom. My mom might sit here and tell the doctor this or Carrie this. She come home and tell me a different thing.
Stories. Yeah.
I mean, you don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear. I mean, like I never asked the doctor about what was the file on the DNR and DNI that y'all had in her file that you've been telling me about for a whole week. I never asked you to bring it to my light, to show it to me, to put it on the table. It wasn't important to me because I did not want to hear that. I want you to hear and feel what I felt. This is my mom we was talking about, and it could be another family member could go through the same thing that we went through, where it will come to a point and say, well, this is what so and so want. They don't want to hear that when their mother down there laying there dying. I feel like I know what she want or what she would. I would feel like I know what she would have want. She didn't discuss that with me. She didn't tell me that. She might have told you this yesterday, and this happened today. She didn't tell me that.
When she made a decision that she didn't want to be on life support, they should have called all the family together and had the whole family discuss it before she even signed the paper. Because I really didn't know anything about it until she told me. So I think what they should have did, they should have got all the family members that wanted to be there and discussed with them too. But I know it was my mom's decision. I know that. But I still think the family should have been involved with it too. Knowing that what she wanted. And if I didn't, I know she wanted that, but they didn't never discuss it with me. If I would have probably got a meeting and we all sit down and discuss it, it probably went. I would have probably did something different. I think like a month before it all happened, me and her was sitting in the living room, and she told. I think we were looking at TV, and she told me, she said, "Alma, please don't let them put me on the respirator, life support, anything." She said, "I don't want none of that." I'm just like, okay, Mom. But you never think when a person tells you that's okay, Mom, you'll be okay.
I went to her house and she had this DNR and DNI form on the refrigerator. It's the type that the ambulance used that put the bracelet on. So if they came to your house and they saw this on the refrigerator, they're not gonna try to do anything to bring you back. And I said to her, I said, "Mom, what is this?" She said, "Oh, they gave me that at the daycare center." I said, "Do you know what this is?" She said, "Well, they explained it to me." I said, "What did they tell you?" She just told me little bits and pieces. I said, "Well, this form on your refrigerator, if somebody walk in here and you pass out and 911, the ambulance come in here and they see this form on the refrigerator, they're not gonna try to bring you back. You're gonna die. If the ambulance take you to the hospital, if you're alive and they're on their way to the hospital and your heart stopped, they're not going to do anything for you. You're just going to die because you got this form here and you already signed this form. This is what this form is. You do not need this." And I took it off the refrigerator and I tore it up. They don't explain exact in English what is going on. And these little old people do not understand. They should put it away where they will understand and what they're talking about. I think me, myself, personally, if I had to do it all over again, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't put her on a ventilator if I had to do it all over again. Just to see what she had went through. I was there to see the turns, the suction, the blood, the frowning. It just one of these things that it will always be there in your mind. Anytime you see another patient on a ventilator, it brings you back to that moment when they suction her and it hurts so bad, all the pain, the suffering that she went through. When that last week, my mother suffered terribly. She suffered where it was unbelievable, unreal.
She didn't even look like herself.
Unreal. And I had to come to grips with myself. Why did we do this to her? Why did we do this to her? Why did we let this happen? And I think it was more so at that point in time trying to get other family members there, but we still didn't know what her pain was. We could see her pain, but we couldn't feel her pain. She the only one could feel that pain. To do that all over again, I wouldn't want that for nobody.
Mom, me and my sister, remember when we was there, was it maybe that Friday, and we asked her, she was a woman. We asked her, we say, Mom, do you want to be taken off the ventilator? If you do, blink 2 times. If you don't want to be taken off, don't blink. So when we asked her, she blinked. And that's when me and my sister knew.
She
Me
closed
and
her
her-
eyes so tight
Yes,
where
she-
we thought that, oh my God, what have we done?
Yes.
We knew it was time
When
to
I
take
seen
off.
her all swollen up and everything, I couldn't take it no more. I couldn't take it no more. I say, Mom, we gonna take you off this ventilator. We gonna do it. We gonna do it Tuesday. Before they took the tube out her mouth, she had it in her mouth. She opened her eyes, look around at everybody, with the tube in her mouth. She said, I love y'all.
Yes.
And that's when we knew she was ready.